Hello everyone, this is Mohan Sandeep Kumar and I welcome you all to my channel Concepts of IIT Mathematics. So where we will be learning the concept of each and every chapter in depth so that we will prepare ourselves to solve all the model problems with full confidence. So I have decided to start with the chapter of theory of equations which also contains quadratic equations. Very important chapter, very one of the basic chapters in algebra. So in today's class we will be looking into the introduction of theory of equations, then the types of polynomials, polynomial equations, zeros of a polynomial, geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial, and then identity, and finally we look into quadratic equation, introduction of quadratic equation. So most of the things that you have learned already in CBSE classes, so it's like a revision kind of thing, and of course it is basics of this particular chapter, theory of equations. So let us get into the introduction, and I want you to listen the class from starting till ending very carefully so that you won't miss any point. This is very important. Yes, first let us see what is polynomial in one variable. Of course, polynomial is a type of algebraic expression where the powers of all the variables are purely non-negative integers. Non-negative integers are nothing but whole numbers. The powers of variables are clearly whole numbers. Yes, example, if you see 2x square plus 3x plus 5, look at the variable x here, and here the power of the variable is 2, here it is 1, and here it is 0. The powers are clearly whole numbers, right? This is just an example of a polynomial. Okay, and if you want an example which is not a polynomial, 2 into x power 1 by 2. So this is an algebraic expression. This is an algebraic expression. This is also an algebraic expression, but this is not a polynomial because the power of the variable is not a whole number. So first you should know what is a polynomial. A polynomial is an algebraic expression where the powers of the variables are clearly whole numbers. That means non-negative integers. But one thing, root 2 into x is a polynomial. Yes, because here the square root is for the constant, it is not for the variable. The power of the variable is 1, we have no problem. This is a polynomial. So here this is a polynomial, this is a polynomial, but this is not a polynomial. Just understand why. The power of the variable must be a whole number. That means non-negative integer. Yes, this is just a basic that you know already. Now what is a polynomial in one variable? Particularly the general form of polynomial in one variable. The general form, call it standard form. So if you take a function f of x, which is equal to a0 plus a1 into x power 1 plus a2 into x square plus a3 into x cube plus and so on plus an into x power n. So this is the general form. This is the general form of a polynomial f of x. Here you might be asking, sir, what are a0, a1, a2, a3 and so on. Yes, we will discuss about that also. Here if you see, there are two types of polynomials if you want to classify in this case. So the two types are, the first one is a real polynomial and the second one is a complex polynomial. So if the coefficients, these are the coefficients actually, if the coefficients a0, a1, a2 and so on an, if all these coefficients are real numbers, then and at the same time the variable involved x is a real variable. That means this variable must accept only real numbers. Okay, then such a polynomial is called as a real polynomial, and when it becomes a complex polynomial, you can easily understand this. So if the same coefficients a0, a1, a2 and so on an, if they are complex numbers and at the same time the x is a complex variable, then we can say that such a polynomial is a complex polynomial. So most of the times we will be mentioning about real polynomial itself in this particular chapter. We will be using real polynomial itself, and rarely sometimes if they mention in problems we will consider complex polynomials also. In short, what is a complex number? A complex number is in the form a plus ib, where a comma b are real numbers and I is equal to square root of -1. Yes, we will discuss more about complex numbers in each particular chapter separately in a different video. So now let us continue. So first of all, a polynomial in one variable is given by this particular f of x. And then there are two types of polynomials if you want to see. One is a real polynomial, the other one is a complex polynomial. Now let us get into the types of polynomials. The polynomials are classified into types in two different categories. First way, we'll decide the types of polynomials based on number of terms. And next, we can also classify polynomials based on the degree, based on its degree. First, let us discuss about the types of polynomials based on number of terms. So, if the polynomial contains only one term, then we call it as a monomial. You can see some examples. X square, there is only one term, it is a monomial. Or you can also take 5x, it is a monomial. You can take constants, 6, it is a monomial. We have only one term. These are monomials. These are polynomials containing only one term, hence they are called as monomials. If they have two terms, you know, binomial. Example, x plus 5 or x square minus 6 or x cube minus 100. These are binomials. And then if they have three terms, we call them as trinomial. If you want to see examples, x square minus 5x plus 6. This is an example. Like this, you can write your own examples. And if it has more than three terms, we will just call it as a polynomial. If it has more than three terms, we can just call it as a polynomial. Next, we look into the types of polynomials based on degree. First of all, what is a degree here? Degree is nothing but the highest power of the variable involved in a polynomial. Highest power of the variable. Highest power of the variable involved. Let us see an example first. Let us try to understand this with an example. If you take a polynomial 5x square minus 6x plus 1. Here x power is 2 and here x power is 1, and here you don't think that there is no x. It is actually 1 into x power 0. X power 2, x power 1, x power 0. The powers are 2, 1 and 0. Among these powers, the highest power is 2. Therefore, the degree of this polynomial is 2. You take another example, x power 1000 minus 100. Here x power is 100 and here x power is 0. The highest power is 100. Therefore, the degree in this polynomial is 100. So like this, based on degrees also, we will classify the types of polynomials. So in that case, if degree is 0, if the degree, let us make a table here. If the degree is 0, then what it is? If the degree is 1, if degree is 2, 3, 4. Let us see the types of polynomials here. So first of all, if degree is 0, what type of polynomial it is? What is the name of that polynomial? It is called as a constant polynomial. We call it as constant polynomial if degree is 0. Example, any constant, you can take any constant except 0. Any constant except 0, any real number except 0 is a constant polynomial. You can take 5. 5 is a constant polynomial. Pi is a constant polynomial, a rational number. And we can take any other number. 1000 is a constant polynomial. And general form, in general form, you can just write a, where a can be any real number except 0. Where a can be any real number except 0. Similarly, if degree is 1, then it is called as a linear polynomial. Example, 5x minus 1. The degree is 1. Observe, the degree is 1. X power is 1. X power is 0. The highest power is 1. Another example, if you want just x. Another example, if you want, take 100x. These are examples of linear polynomials where the degree is 1. And the general form of it is ax plus b, where a comma b are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Remember that. Similarly, if degree is 2, it is called as a quadratic polynomial. Example, x square plus 5x plus 6. Another example, y square. These are quadratic polynomials where the degree is 2. And in general form, you will write it as ax square plus bx plus c. Once again, the coefficients a comma b comma c can be any real numbers, and particularly a should not be equal to 0. Here I am talking only about real polynomials. That's why I am taking coefficients as real numbers. Remember that. If you want to convert it as complex polynomials, you can take the coefficients as complex numbers. Next, if the degree is 3, it is called as a cubic polynomial. Example, x cube minus 1 or x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1, where the general form is taken as ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. General form ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, where all the coefficients a, b, c, d are real numbers and a should not be equal to 0. And then if the degree is 4, it is called as a biquadratic polynomial. If degree is 4, it is called as biquadratic polynomial. Example, you can write your own example. Simply if you write x power 4, then also it is biquadratic polynomial. Or if you take x power 4 plus 1, it is a biquadratic polynomial. So in general form, a into x power 4 plus bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus e. Among all this, you have to understand one common thing. A is not equal to 0 among all this. A is not equal to 0 and the coefficients can be any real numbers. Okay. And this particular polynomial, the general form, I have written p of x or f of x is equal to a naught plus a1 into x power 1 plus a2 into x square and so on plus an into x power n. Here if you observe, the degree of this particular polynomial is n, because that is the highest power, and n must be in only natural numbers. It can be whole number also. So yes, let us take it as whole numbers. N can be whole number here, where n is the degree of this particular polynomial. Yes. Next, let us look into polynomial equation. What is a polynomial equation? You just consider any polynomial f of x and equate it to 0. Now this is a polynomial equation. Understand? If you write just f of x, it is a polynomial, and if you take it and if you equate it to 0, then it becomes an equation. So this is a polynomial and this is a polynomial equation because equality sign is involved. Example, if you write just x square plus 5x plus 6, then it is a quadratic polynomial, and if you involve equality symbol, equate it to 0, then it becomes a quadratic equation. If you write just x cube minus 1, it is a polynomial, cubic polynomial, and if you involve equality symbol equal to 0, then it becomes a cubic equation. So I hope you understand the difference between polynomial and polynomial equation. If equality symbol is involved, it becomes an equation, and if equality symbol is not there, it is just a polynomial. In that case, we can say that this is the general form of a linear equation, and this is the general form of a quadratic equation. Observe, a comma b comma c, these are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. If we consider a comma b comma c as complex numbers, they will become complex equations, complex quadratic equations. Fine. and this is a cubic equation. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equal to 0. This is a cubic equation. Then you can consider it's by quadratic equation. Yes. So next let us look into the zeros of a polynomial. Zeros of a polynomial. What is the meaning of zeros of a polynomial? See, the value of the polynomial, that let us see the definition first for zeros of a polynomial. The value of a polynomial, it's the value of a variable. The value of the variable at which, let us consider that the variable is x. The value of the variable x at which the polynomial f of x is equal to 0 is called zero of a polynomial. The value of a variable x at which the polynomial f of x is equal to 0 is called zero of a polynomial. Zero of a polynomial. Let us see an example. Consider a polynomial 2x plus 3. What number should I substitute in place of x so that this value is equal to 0? You can go with trial and error method. After some seconds you can easily guess that in place of x, if you take the number minus 3 by 2, then what happens? You get 2 into minus 3 by 2 plus 3, and if you calculate this, 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. The value of the polynomial had become 0 here. At what input x? At minus 3 by 2, correct? In place of x, if I take minus 3 by 2, then the value of the polynomial is equal to 0. Therefore, who is the 0 of this polynomial 2x plus 3? Therefore, the 0 of the polynomial 2x plus 3 is minus 3 by 2. Similarly, we can also find zeros of the polynomials, quadratic polynomials, cubic polynomials, etc. All these things we have learned already in 9th standard of CBSE or State Board in polynomials chapter. See, when it comes to polynomials, we will call them as zeros, and when it comes to equations, we will call them as roots. Just the terminology will change. So if you consider an equation, what do you call it? If you consider an equation 2x plus 3 equal to 0, who is the root of this equation 2x plus 3 equal to 0? Who is the root of this equation? The same thing, the same person. The root of 2x plus 3 equal to 0 is how much? Is minus 3 by 2. If it comes to polynomial, we will call them as zeros, and if it comes to equation, we will call them as roots. That's the only difference. Next, similarly, we can find the roots of quadratic equation, roots of cubic equation that we have already learned in 9th standard and also 10th standard. So let us continue. Let us continue with the geometrical meaning of zeros. Yes, sir. Before getting into the geometrical meaning of zeros, the most important thing that you should know, if I take a linear equation, for example, x plus 1 equal to 0, how many number of roots are present for this linear equation? The number of roots. Simple, if you solve it, you will get x is equal to minus 1. So the only possible root is minus 1. So therefore, the number of roots of a linear equation is equal to 1. Next, if I take for example a quadratic equation called x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0, and if you solve it, you will get x is equal to minus 2 comma minus 3. Sorry, you will get plus 2 comma plus 3. The roots are 2 comma 3. How many number of roots are present for this quadratic equation? The number of roots is equal to 2. I'm not saying that a quadratic equation will always get 2 roots. It might get 2 roots, 2 real roots, or 1 real root, or 0 real roots. We'll discuss about it later in next videos, next classes. Similarly, if you take some cubic equation, you'll get the number of roots, maximum number of roots. Instead of calling number of roots, let us call maximum number of roots. Maximum number of roots for a cubic equation. Is 3. Now, how can I decide the number of roots? It's as simple as that, based on its degree. Since the degree of a linear equation is 1, its number of roots is equal to 1. Since the degree of a quadratic equation is 2, so maximum number of roots for a quadratic equation is 2. And since the degree of a cubic equation is 3, the maximum number of roots of a quadratic equation is 3. So therefore, from this consideration, we can say that for a polynomial, f of x is equal to, for a polynomial, f of x is equal to a0 plus a1 into x power 1 plus a2 into x square plus a3 into x cube and so on plus an into x power n. We can say that the number of roots for this for this polynomial of degree n, the number of roots, maximum number of roots is equal to n. So what is it? The maximum number of roots. Maximum number of roots is equal to n. The maximum number of roots depends on the degree, which is equal to n. It can have lesser number of roots than n also. If you are talking about real roots, it can have less number of real roots. Yes. So let us continue with the geometrical meaning of zeros or the geometrical meaning of roots. So all of you know that any given polynomial can be plotted on a graph on the coordinate axis that we have learned already in our 9th standard and also 10th standards. For example, if you have y is equal to, if you have a polynomial called 2x plus 3, if you have a polynomial called 2x plus 3, which is a linear polynomial, you can call it as f of x. Instead of taking as f of x, we can also take it as y. So y is equal to 2x plus 3. So we know how to plot this on the graph paper, and if you plot it, certainly you will get a straight line, correct? The graph of y is equal to 2x plus 3 is a straight line. Let me draw an approximate graph. So this is an approximate graph. It is not an exact graph. It is a straight line. The graph of y is equal to 2x plus 3 is a straight line. Similarly, if you take the graph of a quadratic polynomial, y is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6, and if you draw its graph, so its graph will be like this. The graph of quadratic polynomial is a parabola. The shape of the graph of a quadratic polynomial is a parabola. Now my question is, what is the meaning of this geometrical meaning? The geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial, or we can also call roots of an equation. What is the geometrical meaning means? After drawing the graph of these polynomials, on the graph, where can I find the zeros? Where can I find the zeros of the polynomial? It's as simple as that. Look, where does the graph intersect the x-axis? Take that point. This point will have an x-coordinate and also a y-coordinate, right? It has an x-coordinate and y-coordinate. The x-coordinate of this point is nothing but the zero of this polynomial. The x-coordinate of this particular point where the graph intersects the x-axis, where the graph intersects the x-axis. The x-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis, that particular x-coordinate is the zero of this polynomial. Is the zero of this polynomial. So seriously, sincerely, if you actually draw the graph, this point will be minus 3 by 2 comma 0. Look, the x-coordinate is minus 3 by 2, which is nothing but the zero of this polynomial. Similarly, take this particular polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6, draw its own graph on a graph paper. You will observe that the graph quadratic polynomial or a parabola, it intersects the x-axis at 2 comma 0 and 3 comma 0 if you actually draw it. So who are the x-coordinates of these 2 points? 2 and 3. These 2 comma 3 are the zeros of this particular polynomial. You can call, if it is a polynomial, call it as a 0. If it is an equation, call it as a root. So who are the roots of the equation 2x plus 3 equal to 0? Then minus 3 by 2. Who are the roots of the equation x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0? Then 2 comma 3. So we can say like this. So understand again geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial. What is the geometrical meaning? Where do I find the zeros on the graph? Where do I find it? They are the x-coordinates of the points at which the graph intersects x-axis. They are the x-coordinates of the points at which the graph intersects the x-axis, right? So let us get into the last topic of the video, that is identity. So observe this polynomial in one variable of degree n. Can I call this polynomial always as a polynomial? Can I call this thing always as a polynomial? Not always. There is one such possibility where I can't call this as a polynomial. There is only one such possibility where I can't call this as a polynomial. What is that possibility means? If all the it's not about polynomial, let us take it as an equation equal to 0. Let us consider equal to 0 also. This equation, polynomial equation, there is one such case where this polynomial equation is not called as an polynomial equation, and that one such case is when all the coefficients a0, a2, a3 all are equal to each other and they are equal to 0. If all the coefficients are equal to 0, that means it is nothing but 0 plus 0 into x plus 0 into x square plus 0 into x cube and so on plus 0 into x power n equal to 0. In this case, it is not called as a polynomial equation. Instead of that, there is a special name. It is called as an identity. If all the coefficients are equal to 0, then it is called as an identity. It is not called as a polynomial equation anymore. It is called as an identity if all the coefficients are equal to 0. And an identity, before I have told you one thing, how many number of roots are there for this polynomial equation? I told if it is a polynomial equation, the number of roots depends on the degree. Since the degree is n, we will say that the number of roots for a polynomial equation is equal to n. But when it comes to an identity, the number of zeros, the number of roots of an identity is infinite. Infinite number of zeros are there. Infinite number of zeros. Why infinite number of zeros? It's not just 1 or 2. You substitute any number in place of x, any real number in place of x, the equation is satisfied. You substitute any number in place of x, the equation is always satisfied. Since every value of x satisfies this particular equation, that's the reason why I told that the number of roots of this identity is infinite. Actually, to say if it is a polynomial equation, the number of roots must be n only. The number of roots must be n only. But because it is an identity, the number of roots are infinite. Let us see an example to have a clarity on this. Let us see an example. There is something like this: ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. He said that it is not a quadratic equation. Then what it is? Of course, it is an identity. And if it is an identity, what we have to say? We have to say that a is equal to b is equal to c, all are equal to 0. And if it is an identity, then how many number of roots are there for this identity? Don't say that it is 2. The number of roots is not equal to 2. It is actually infinite. How many number of roots are there? Infinite roots are there for this identity, because all the coefficients are equal to 0. Let us see one example to understand this particular concept. Here is a question. If k square minus 5k plus 6 into x square plus k square minus 4k plus 4 into x plus k minus 2 is equal to 0, if it is an identity, then what is the value of k they are saying? And dear students, we already have learned that if it is an identity, all the coefficients must be equal to 0. The coefficient of x square is k square minus 5k plus 6. It must be equal to 0. And instead of using, let's say comma, the coefficient of x, that means k square minus 4k plus 4, this must be equal to 0. And at the same time, the last constant must be equal to 0. All three coefficients must be equal to 0. If you solve this quadratic equation k square minus 5k plus 6, if you factorize, if you split the middle term, you can easily find that k is equal to 2, 3. And if you factorize this particular quadratic equation, and if you find k is equal to, you get 2, 2, and here k is equal to 2. So don't say that the possible values of k is 2 and also 3. It's not that. You should consider that value of k. Which is common in all the three cases. So what is it? Therefore, The value of k for which this particular thing is an identity is what? Is k is equal to 2. They will mislead you. In options they might even give you 2 comma 3 also, but be careful. You should consider that particular value of k which is present in all the three things, in all the three. So k is equal to 2. The answer is k is equal to 2. So if you want, you can check it by taking k is equal to 2. Substitute here, you'll get 0 into x square plus 0 into x plus 0. It is an identity. Yes. So these are the topics that we have covered in today's class, in today's video. Let us meet you all in the next video with the next topics. So this is Mohan Sandeep Kumar. We'll continue in next class.